welcome back to Interpreting the Scares! That's right, we're back at it on our month-long journey throughout the nightmares with yet another film to check off that bucket list of terror. Now remember, I'm going to be taking a look at 31 foreign horror films in chronological order, and I've already gone through several Ju-On films at this point, and now we're on to yet another duology with Ju-On White Ghost. Let's get cracking. The same curse that afflicted the characters in the original Ju-On films is now afflicting yet another family in a similar fashion, with all new spirits and all new scares. Can these people survive the curse this time or suffer a similar fate as everybody else? So like I mentioned before, I'm starting a new duology here with White Ghost, which seems to be right on par with everything else in the Ju-On series. So in case you hadn't noticed, this entire franchise is literally just a bunch of two-parters. The first two movies were Ju-On the Curse 1 and 2, and then there was Ju-On the Grudge 1 and 2, and now here we go, another duology, Ju-On White Ghost and Black Ghost. But for the life of me, I couldn't tell you which one you're supposed to watch first, if you're even supposed to watch them in any particular order. That's because as far as I could tell, both White and Black Ghost alike were released on the same exact day, simultaneously. But most people seem to suggest that they're both individual, independent films, not really connected to each other in any real way. There might be a character or two that overlap, but narratively, it probably doesn't matter, which is good, I guess. Also, another thing that you should keep in mind about this film is that both White and Black Ghost are a part of a 10th anniversary for the franchise, and they're both spin-off films. Meaning the main ghost of the series, Kayako, is not in the movie at all. If you've never seen the series, Kayako is to the Ju-On series as Sadako is to the Ring series, or in America, that's Samara. So basically, the heart and the soul of the franchise. To see her vacant from the film is a little bit odd, to put it lightly. Some people call this film essentially a reboot of the franchise, as it does the same thing in a very similar manner as Ju-On the Curse, and I'll agree. The same idea, not unlike the Amityville films, where a seemingly normal family moves into a house, they go a little bit berserk because somebody kills their entire family because of some unseen supernatural force. This, in event, creates the Ju-On curse. Same thing happened in the first movie, and the same thing happened again here. So basically, it comes right down to which one you prefer to watch. On one hand, this film was made 10 years later, so there are leaps and bounds in terms of technical improvements. It doesn't seem as amateur or as cheap as the original, which really literally felt like you popped in a VHS tape, but at the same time, there is no Kayako. Instead, the main ghost in this film is a short, elderly lady that really loves holding onto a basketball. I mean, really loves her basketball. I don't get it either. I guess it is memorable because it is so weird, but it's also riding that line of hilarity too. Two things of note though. This movie is definitely low budget again, which helps the atmosphere feel that much more in line with where the franchise began, and the same goes for the runtime, which this movie is only 1 hour long. Again, same exact thing that the Ju-On Curse movies did. So it really completely depends on what you prefer from the series. Do you like it more when it has that cheap feeling atmosphere? Or did you like it more when they had a decent budget, like when they had the Grudge films? Deciding that first might help you understand if you'll enjoy this film. Every single film, though, seems to operate on a non-linear format. Sometimes that works, while other times, I would say not so much. I actually thought that the editing done in White Ghost was extremely well thought out and executed. At first, I thought it was just going to be a bunch of random pointless scares for no real reason, but when it went more in depth into the lore of this specific story and this specific family, everything came together and it made a lot more sense, and I really dug the editing in this film. In a way, I kinda prefer it over some of the original films in the Ju-On series. Admittedly, for those movies, I did look up their Wikipedia pages to comprehend them a little bit more. Not so here. This was edited better in my opinion. At the end of the day, it's a fairly decent film, but it does run into a lot of issues being the spin-off that it is. It begs the question why an audience really needs to see it at all if it's really just gonna have history repeat itself anyway. If Ju-On the Curse tells the same story more or less as this, what about this movie demands to be seen? I'm not entirely sure. It has its moments that to me stand out, like a cassette tape with a mysterious haunted property, and the family that got killed this time around, they all got murdered in much more violent manner than the original film, which will definitely stick out to me. But we are creatures of habit. 10 years down the line, I think a lot of people don't care so much about the original murders anymore, and they just kind of want to see Kayako do her thing. And Kayako isn't here anymore, like I said. It's a sad day. But I also know we haven't seen the last of her yet. Anyway, let's go ahead and break down my final score for White Ghost, which I rated it a C+ letter grade. Final overall score of 68%. 68 out of 100 possible stars, which is technically the same score that I gave it across the board, whether you're looking at my biased or unbiased score. So in general, I cannot really say the movie's horrible, but it's definitely a bit weaker than the other Ju-on films. It's a lot more safer because it's missing some ingredients for what I consider a perfect Ju-on recipe. Ah well. Have you guys seen Ju-on White Ghost or Black Ghost? If you have, let me know which one's better, or which one you prefer anyway. As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next installment for Interpreting the Scares. And until then, peace out.